Live from WFSB, Connecticut's #1 local news, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 7.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Nicole Nalepa. It is 7 o'clock on this Friday, and we are following all of your top stories, including some breaking news from overnight in Hartford. 2 people have been arrested after a shooting late last night that led to a crash involving a police officer. You're taking a look at some new video we have from Capitol Avenue by Forest Street, and this is really close to the overpass of 84. 3 cars crashed, including that police cruiser, and police say they found a gun. Now, Capitol Avenue is back open now. It was closed for several hours, and we're still waiting on more information from police. We haven't heard back yet. As soon as we do, we'll make sure to relay that on to you on the Channel 3 app. And we're also following news from overnight out of Old Saybrook. Police there have arrested a man accused of threatening to spray another man with bear mace. Police tell us 27-year-old Jared Arsenault, seen here, was trying to break into a car when a man confronted him just after midnight on Denmore Road. Police found the man a short time later, and officers found the bear mace along with some stolen credit cards from a different home. Turning now to the coronavirus. Southeastern Connecticut is still seeing a surge in COVID-19 cases, and now 11 places are under the state's red alert level. That means there are at least 15 cases per 100,000 residents. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Caitlin Nicole has the latest on how people are trying to stop the spread.
New London is one of 11 cities and towns across the state that is in the red zone right now for COVID cases. Several other southeastern towns like Montville, Preston, Norwich, and Griswold are also on high alert. Mayor Michael Passero says the spread isn't happening in businesses that are impacted by phase 3, but rather other gatherings. He says they're ramping up testing and telling people to stay vigilant, even around their friends and family.
The data points to small family and social gatherings and gatherings connected with youth sports events.
Caitlin Nicole, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Now to the latest coronavirus numbers in our state. The positivity rate has gone down after another 15,000 tests were performed in the past day. 213 came back positive, giving us a positivity rate of 1.3%. Yesterday it was at 2%, so that's some good news. But hospitalizations went up by 3 for a total of 191 hospitalizations this morning. We also know there have been 3 COVID-related deaths. Now nationally, the numbers are not looking good. The U.S. is close to 8 million total confirmed cases of the coronavirus. The number of new infections in the nation hit nearly 60,000 yesterday. That's a single-day high that hasn't been seen since the summer. 37 states are now seeing infections growing, and hospitalizations and deaths continue to rise in those states. And a new study out by the Department of Defense suggests it's safe to fly if passengers wear masks. Working with United Airlines, researchers used an onboard mannequin with an aerosol generator inside to simulate breathing and coughing. Well, they found the masked mannequin sent just 0.003% of particles into another passenger's breathing space. United says that means the risk of exposure is nearly non-existent, even on a full flight. And back in Connecticut, our state still needs to fall in line with the rest of the country when it comes to the distribution of vaccines. So as drug companies continue to press forward, the CDC wants every state at the ready to distribute a COVID vaccine when it is available and when it arrives. Channel 3's Mark Robbins has the latest on Connecticut's plans of distribution.
The Connecticut Department of Health met Thursday night to go over the rough draft of its distribution plan. Today's the day the federal government wants to get a peek.
We are doing our best to prepare, but also knowing that we need to remain flexible.
And while the plans get finalized and drug companies continue with trials and tests, the question remains among the general public. Will you get the vaccine? There are folks on both sides of the debate.
I probably will take it when it's recommended for someone in my age group.
I wouldn't take it because there's not enough information about it yet. So I wouldn't take it, and I wouldn't give it to my kids either.
Mark Robbins, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And with the coronavirus changing our lives as we know it, a lot of people are falling into the category of COVID fatigue. That's what they're calling it. It's an exhaustion when it comes to wearing masks, social distancing, and following the health guidelines. And doctors believe that this kind of burnout is actually leading to a rise in positive COVID-19 cases.
So I have children at home and I have my elderly patients that I take care of. So I have to be very, very cautious. So I nonstop.
Now, as it starts to get colder, doctors are reminding people to get your flu shot and, of course, continue to wash your hands. Families in New Haven are getting ready to send their kids back to the classroom next month. They've been learning remotely since the start of the school year. The city has been using the last 2 months to put signs up in the school, and these signs will be on the ground indicating one-way hallways and on doors limiting how many people can be inside each classroom. We're told all 42 schools are on track to be open November 9th. Meantime, UConn's run of having no new COVID cases has come to an end. The school is reporting 3 new cases, 2 of which are on campus. So in total, 13 students are in isolation right now on campus since testing positive. And then since testing began at the school, we know that a total of 301 students who were testing positive have now recovered and left isolation. That's some good news.
More beneficial rain headed in our direction, and this is going to put a further dent in our drought situation. Not a drought buster, but nonetheless, we are going to pick up anywhere from 1 to 2 inches between now and about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Just a little smattering of precipitation up in northwest Connecticut. You got a little raindrops up there in Litchfield County, but not a big deal. Visibility is pretty good this morning. Not a lot of fog to greet us, which is good. The temperatures, whoa, they are mild. 59 in Litchfield, 64. That's the normal high for this time of year. And it's 7:06 in the morning. Stores, 64 degrees, 64 in Bristol. West Haven, 64 degrees. And look at those dew points. It's October 16th. We've got dew points in the low to possibly mid-60s this afternoon. Unbelievable. All right, now the temperatures are going to start dropping as we move through the day today. The rain is going to cool the atmosphere, and we are expecting that rain to start to kick in by about 9, 10 o'clock this morning. And by noon, it should be pouring here in the state right through the evening rush hour. This is more of the same for the shoreline. You'll notice the icons go over to rain there, with the temperature dropping as well. But in the meantime, whoa, 67 degrees at Brainerd, 67 in New Haven. Those are some pretty remarkable numbers, and they are up substantially from yesterday, just 24 hours ago. Look at the temperature differential. It is 25 degrees warmer in Willimantic this morning than we were just 24 hours ago. That's remarkable. The winds are out of the south, anywhere from 8 to 13 miles an hour sustained. And as you can see, we've got mostly overcast conditions in Hartford, mostly overcast conditions in Stores, and mostly overcast conditions in New Haven. Looks like rain, and it is coming. It's to the west of Connecticut, but it is getting closer. And as we take a look down a little bit further to the south, you're going to notice a big batch of rain over the Delmarva. That's all moving in our direction, and that's an area of low pressure that's going to be riding along the front, and that's going to be bringing us all the rain. So just get ready, because it is going to rain. All right, this is 7 o'clock this morning. Not a lot of activity. By about noon, we start to see the rain, and then it does get heavy at times through the afternoon. This is 5 p.m. for the evening rush. It's raining throughout most of the state, and then a little bit of a lull, and then heavy rain rolls in tonight. This is midnight tonight through early tomorrow morning while most of us are sleeping. It is pouring, maybe even a little lightning and thunder, and then the storm system makes an exit by 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. We start to see some partial clearing, and then the afternoon is mostly sunny. Look at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, mostly sunny as the storm makes a departure to the north and to the east. So here's what we're thinking, how much we can expect, anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of rain on the way between now and about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Daytime highs today climb into the upper 60s, which is where they are right now, but they'll be dropping through the afternoon. Tomorrow, rain comes to an end by about 9 after a very heavy rain tonight. And today and tonight, and then tomorrow, mostly sunny in the afternoon. Sunday looks good, and kind of a dry forecast with temperatures above average for the foreseeable future once we get through the rain today, tonight, and tomorrow morning. Nicole, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Scott. As you know, Eyewitness News is your election authority. Well, last night, President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden were not on the same stage, but they did hold simultaneous town halls. The two candidates were supposed to have their second presidential debate, but it was canceled after the president tested positive for COVID-19 and declined to debate virtually. Channel 3's Laura Podesta has the highlights now.
Former Vice President Joe Biden said President Trump has not taken the coronavirus seriously.
Americans don't panic, he panicked.
In a town hall moderated by ABC News' George Stephanopoulos, Biden said it's a president's job to lead.
And when a president doesn't wear a mask or makes fun of folks like me when I was wearing a mask for a long time, then, people say, well, it mustn't be that important.
In a separate event on NBC News, President Trump told moderator Savannah Guthrie the pandemic is almost over.
It's rounding the corner, and we have the vaccines coming, and we have the therapies coming.
Here on Capitol Hill, Republicans are hoping to to confirm Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court by the end of the month. Biden was pressed if he would try to add more justices to the high court if Democrats sweep the election.
But don't voters have a right to know where you stand?
They do have a right to know where they stand, and they'll have a right to know where I stand before they vote.
President Trump was again asked to denounce white supremacy.
Are you listening? I denounce white supremacy.
He was also questioned on his Twitter activity, specifically his retweet of a fringe conspiracy theory that Biden orchestrated the killing of SEAL Team 6 to cover up the fake death of Osama bin Laden.
I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
You're not like someone's crazy uncle who can just retweet whatever.
President Trump and Biden will face off in the final presidential debate on Thursday. Laura Podesta, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
All right, those are some of your top headlines on this Friday, October 16th. Thank you so much for tuning in to Eyewitness News. Remember, you can get any news and weather updates anytime on the Channel 3 app. Keep that Channel 3 app handy today, especially with the rain that's coming. Have a great day, great weekend. Stay healthy, stay positive.